Okay, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So today we're gonna do the complete process to build the circuit of our H-bridge and the programming of that. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna build all the components using the batteries, the H-bridge, the Arduino, and the different things that we're gonna put in this process. Okay, so as you can see, we're gonna use the circuit that you can find here in this image. So as you remember, we're gonna connect first of all the motors. So in this diagram only we have just one, but remember that in this section we can connect two motors. Okay, both motors we can connect the same way. Okay, don't forget this diagram. So first of all we're gonna start with the motors. So first of all you have to open the blue section that have screws. For that reason you have to use these elements to open this section. Okay, so the idea is that you do with all the motors. So once that you open the screws, you can insert the wires in this part. Okay, so maybe you have to be a little bit patient, but the idea is that you can put both motors here. So as you know, the motors don't have polarity. For that reason, it doesn't matter if you put the positive in one side and the negative in the other side, because it's not important. Maybe you will change the polarity, you will change the the angle or the side in which the motors are rounding, but that's it. Okay. So the idea is that you can insert the wires. Okay. In this section, and once that you have the wire inside, you will put the screw in its place. Okay, so the idea is that if you need to remove the plastic, because the metallic part that is in mainly cases is copper, is too short, you have to do it. Okay, so you have to do the same process with both motors, and the idea is the four outputs you can see. The result that can be something like that. You have to be a little bit patient, but that's the idea. So the idea is that you do with both motors. Okay, so once that we have the motors in this section, now it's time to connect the power supply. Remember that the power supply of our car will be these batteries AA with 1.5 volts for each one. When you add these voltages, you will have a total voltage of 6 volts. Okay, so as you can see, first we're gonna connect the ground. As you can see, the ground of the Arduino and the ground of the power supply are together. So the idea is that we can join these batteries, these grounds from the battery and from the Arduino in the same place. So for that reason, we're gonna do this process. Okay, keep in mind that the idea is that we can unify these grounds because anyway we're gonna fit all the elements in the same place. So for that reason, it's important that we can unify. For that reason, we're gonna take the Arduino, and we're gonna locate the GND or ground pin. Okay, so in Arduino it's easy to identify, so you have to check under insert the jumper. In my case, I have an Arduino Nano. It's the same methodology, but the idea is we can locate this section, this ground section. Okay, in this moment I am checking this part, so you can use jumpers male here with both leads for each side, and after when you have this, the idea is that you can locate the ground in your Arduino and connect the ground in this part. Okay, so this is the ground of the Arduino. Okay, so here we have the Arduino, the ground of the Arduino. Okay, so now it's time to take the ground or the negative side, or negative pin of our battery, and we're gonna join this grounds in just one. How? Okay, very simple. So what are we gonna do? First, we're gonna remove a little bit of plastic. As you can see, the idea is that we can unify, as I told you, the ground with the Arduino with the ground of the battery. So for that reason, we're gonna remove a little bit the plastic of our negative in the power supply, and we're gonna do a knob with the lead of our jumper that belongs from the ground of the Arduino. We're gonna take this copper and we're gonna do a knob here. Look at, as you can see. Okay, so the idea is that we can do a knob in which the cables won't be separated. So that's the idea. We're gonna do with patience. Once that we have this union, the idea is that we can insert these cables in the section, in the section in the middle. In the case the ground in our module is the screw of the middle. For the reason, we're gonna locate in this section, as you can see here. So we're gonna put, and once that we insert, we're gonna do the same process. We're gonna take our tool and we're gonna put the screw in its place. Okay, keep in mind that it's important that you ensure that the cables won't be separated and you can connect properly all the elements. Okay, now once that we have the negative connected, it's time to connect the positive side of our power supply. Okay, so first of all, we have to verify that the cable, the red cable of our power supply, um, is uh, is discovered in the copper side. So the idea is that we can remove the plastic that cover the cable in that case that you need it. So in my case, I'm gonna do. Remember that you can use scissors for that. So you only take the scissors, and there you cut a little bit the plastic. Idea is that you don't cut in the entire wire, but the idea is that you only cut the plastic. Okay, in my case, I am doing briefly with the scissor. Once that you have this, remove the plastic with the nail. Okay, as you can see here, in my case, I have. Now in this part, it's not necessary to unify nothing, so for that reason only we're gonna prepare the copper and we're gonna insert the cable in the left side from power supply. Okay, so once that we have this, we're gonna insert, we're gonna remove the screw and we're gonna insert the cable, as you can see here. Okay, so we're gonna take the left side in these 3 boards. So as you can see here, in 12 volts, in plus 12, in this section we're gonna put the cable, the positive cable. Okay, it's important that always you verify the connections, because if you don't connect properly, you can burn the module, and that's not the idea. For that reason, you have to follow carefully the instructions. Okay, so we're gonna insert the cable, and once that we have the cable in the place, we're gonna take the tool and we're gonna put the screw in its place. Okay, so as you can see, this is the result that you have to have in all the cases. Okay, the positive, the negative, the motors here, as you can see, the Arduino connection here, and everything connected. This is the circuit that we're gonna use in this session. Okay, Okay, so in this part, now we're gonna continue uh, connecting our motors or the logical part. Okay, so as you can see in the Arduino, we are connecting the first motor to two digital ports. So in that case, we'll have two motors. So for that reason, we're gonna connect in four digital motors. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, so in this space that I showed you before, you can see that you have to connect jumpers. These spaces we're gonna use to provide the logical combination to move the motors. So first of all, we're gonna put the cables in the sections that are from the logical inputs. And once that we have these, we have to verify that the cables are in the right place. You can use jumpers, we can say female, male, something like that. So the idea is that we connect the female part with the hole in these pins. Okay, we have four pins, two for each motor. For that reason, we have to connect four jumpers here. Okay, so we're gonna do it for each case. Verify that the connections are right in your case. So the idea is that you ensure all the time this part, and with that you won't repeat nothing. Okay, so once that we have connected in the module, it's time to connect in the Arduino. As you can see in the programming that we saw previously, we have four pins: 6, 9 to the first motor, and 10 and 11 for the second. So the idea is that we connect the cables, the other side of the jumpers, and we search these digital ports in our Arduino. Okay, in Arduino Uno, as I told you, it's very easy. It's just to verify and count the digital ports. And in the Arduino Nano is the same, but you have to have a little bit of careful. Um, but it's the same process. So you have to locate the pins, the 6 and 9 in the case of the first motor, and the second motor, 10 and 11. So that's the idea. Be careful with the other cables. The idea is that you can locate in a logical order these cables. Okay, so finally here we can find the complete circuit connected to the Arduino, digital pins, the power supply, and all the components necessary in our circuit. Okay, so as you can see here, the process, they complete the entire circuit. Here you can see with details the different parts. Here the power supply, the motors connection, the positive and negative connection with the Arduino, um, and the motor's location, the four pins that we're gonna use to do the logic of our um, of our module, and with that we can move forward or backward our motors. And this is the progress that we have in this moment. Okay, you have to verify. Here we have with more details. So verify that the connections are right, and once that we have this, we are ready to program. Okay, so once that we have the circuit, we can do this code. This code is based in the Arduino IDE. This is the complete code based in C++ code, and we only find the combinations that we have to do to move the motors to forward and backward. Remember that it's a logical combination, low or high, it depends on that you want. And once that you have this code, it's time to upload. You know this step. So verify the board, and you will have the result. Okay, you won't have issues in the uploading. Okay, so if everything is right, you can put the batteries, and the circuit, the complete car will work. Okay, so finally here, once that we have this suggestion, please, once that you uploaded the code, disconnect the Arduino and put the 4 batteries. Okay, so here we have the 4 batteries, double A, that's the idea. So the idea is that we can put the 4 batteries in the position. Remember that here we have 6 volts as total voltage. Okay, put here, don't forget to locate the cables, don't forget that you can't disconnect nothing here. And finally, here we're gonna have the last battery, and once that we put the final battery, you can see that the module will turn on. Okay, that means that the connection is perfect. So finally, we're gonna take the Arduino cable, and once that we have our module working, we're gonna connect the Arduino to the computer, and with that we can give energy to our Arduino. Okay, so I'm gonna locate here, and I'm gonna connect to my computer to give energy to my Arduino here. And as you can see, the motors will start to move. As you can see, we'll go forward 3 seconds, and we'll go backward 3 seconds. We'll go forward again 3 seconds. We'll go backward 3 seconds again. This is the routine that we're gonna do, that I taught you today. So the idea is that you can complete the other algorithms. Okay, so as a final step, so if you want to feed with an external power supply your Arduino, you have to disconnect the USB cable, and you have to connect these jumpers male. This one extreme, you will find the voltage in, or V in pin. In general terms, you can see the V in pin near from the ground pin in the Arduino. So for that reason, you have to locate the V in your Arduino, and there you will put one string of the jumper. As you can see here, I located my V in. This pin is only for feed your Arduino to external power supply. Okay, this is very important. Okay, so I'm gonna connect here, and the other extreme we're gonna put in the last screw that we didn't put nothing. So when we put voltages between 6 to 12 volts, this automatically will be an output of 5 volts. So for that reason, we're gonna use this value to feed our Arduino. Once that we have this, don't forget to remove one battery, so with that you will ensure that we won't damage nothing. So we're gonna put the screen in its place. Don't forget it. And when we have everything ready, we're gonna put the battery to a to give energy to our complete car. As you can see, finally, this is the final result, and we're gonna finish to put the last battery. So finally, this is the result. You can see that your car starts to move. As you can see, slower, but will move. Okay, as you can see that will move. And the idea is that we can complete this challenge in this with these steps. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed this process, and thank you so much, and see you in a next time.